Hi guys, it's Jessica Nicole Dickerson, aka JND, and I'm coming back with another video. In today's video, I have a really exciting video planned. So it's going to be uploaded on Martin Luther King Day, so yay, happy Martin Luther King Day. And I just thought it would be really interesting to take some of his quotes and recommend books from them. So I'm going to read a couple of really great MLK quotes, and I'm going to associate them with a book and recommend a book to you guys. If you like this idea, because I'm very proud of it, give this a thumbs up. Do it. I'm also doing this because I just feel like in this time and age, it's very good to look back on history and learn from people who inspire you and motivate you and really take their lessons. They lived a whole life and we are just starting our journey, so we have to take in what we know and what they know and move forward, and that's how you progress. History is a part of progression. Don't let nobody fool you. Okay, so now getting into the video. The first quote I have is, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." And for this quote, I thought it would be perfect to do Dear Martin by Nick Stone. If you've watched my top favorite videos of the year, you would have seen this book already. I highly recommend it, and it's kind of cheating because it's a book all about a boy writing to Martin Luther King and asking for inspiration. But the book is also about dealing with hate of others, and that's why I love this book so much, because you really get to hear the other side of students and or just people and what their beliefs are and how they differ from other people's, and sometimes it's very hateful, and how the protagonist deals with that hate and how he doesn't want to put hate on top of hate, because that just prolongs hate, that only love can really solve this. And I feel like this book really emphasizes what MLK was saying in this quote. So yeah, highly recommend. I am a little bit cheating with this book, so I do also want to mention another book, Carve the Mark. I'm lazy, it's over there. Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth. That book is also all about love and how hate only prolongs hate, because in this world, Carve the Mark, in the universe, there's this planet out there that's constantly at war, and kids are being stolen, and there's just a crazy history, and it's just being prolonged by these hateful leaders and these people who aren't willing to help each other and see each other's side and understand what happened in history is biased. And I think it's also one of those books that talks about love and how love will overcome these difficulties. So I recommend both, or MLK recommends both. Okay, so going on into the next quote. "In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends." For that quote, I picked I'll Give You the Sun by JND Nelson. This book was incredible, and if you have not read it yet, you really need to fix yourself. But it definitely relates to the quote, because I feel like in this book it's about two twins, and they've gone through a ringer. Life has unwound, and they're struggling, and you kind of hear both perspectives and you hear them kind of converge. So the boys starting from the very beginning of when the difficulty started, and then the girl's voice is towards the present, and seeing those two perspectives collide. And at the beginning of the book, or in the present time, they're not talking to each other. These siblings are not close right now, and I thought it was very interesting, because it's what you will remember from any difficult time is not what your enemy's saying, it's what your friends aren't saying, it's for the people who aren't supporting you. This one I felt was like that, because it's in that silence of us not talking to each other is when the difficulty is happening, and I need you here to be with me, so please don't be silent. So yeah, it's a good book. Read it. Going on into the next quote. "Nothing in all the world is dangerous than sincere ignorance and stupidity." For this quote, I thought it would be interesting if you guys picked a book. Comment down below, what do you think a book recommendation would be that matches this quote? I'll read it again. "Nothing in the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and stupidity." Do you have a book? I have a couple. I have a couple present living people recommendations. Or not recommendations, but people who relate to this thoroughly. Moving on to the next quote. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Why did I say that so weird? Forgive me. And I think the book I'm gonna pick for this is pretty obvious. I'm being really lazy and I'm not getting it because it's on top of or like under some books, but it's The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. So it's definitely about this. It definitely matches the quote of what are you doing in your time of comfort and convenience? No, it's like, what are you doing when there's controversy? Are you standing up for what you believe in? And because Star in the book is the only witness to the murder of her friend, she really has to step up and not just, you know, let this happen and let the police say whatever they want. No, she has to speak up and speak the truth. Recommend. Okay, going into the next quote. The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and critically. That is the goal of true education. And for this, I am recommending Piecing Me Together by Renee Watson. Again, you might have heard this a lot in my favorite books of 2018, but it's just a girl who's really taking the opportunity to learn about her passions and her life and understand other people's perspective, and truly just informing yourself that you can do whatever you want if you take the right path, if you look at the opportunities that are available to you, if you challenge those opportunities that aren't given to you and say, I deserve this, please take a second look, you know? I love this book with all my heart. Oh my god. Yes, I highly like this quote in this book. Just the next quote is, love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. I thought this quote was really cute, so I thought it matched Girls Made of Snow and Glass, because I just feel like this is the definition of like, this is like a villain's story or the villain's perspective, because she's not really villainous in this. So there's a mom and the daughter, and it's basically the Snow White story of like where the daughter's supposed to grow up and become queen, and the queen isn't ready and tries to fight her. But it's so much more than that, because she's not a bad guy. She has her own life and her own difficulties, and she's kind of forced into this environment. So I feel like it's definitely matches the quote about making your enemy into your friend, because it's like we don't have to be enemies. All these quotes just hit me in the feels. Recommend. The next quote is, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Aren't these just make you think? I feel like there should be a moment of silence for this knowledge that is being dropped. But yeah, my book rec. And my book recommendation for that would be The Fault in Our Stars. I feel like it's very apparent that these two characters, because they are in like near-death experiences, they really value their life and each other, and they won't be silenced about the things that matter. Of course, this is mostly speaking about love, and not any particular like social justice issues, even though healthcare and medical care is a social justice issue. But it's more talking about love and passion in your dreams and how you should live your life and not be scared of love. But yeah, it's just, there's a whole lot in here, and I feel that quote about just, you can't silence, you stop living the day you don't chase your dreams, basically. So I thought this one went that quote really well. The next quote is, freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. I feel like y'all know what I'm gonna say for this. I feel like that quote relates to so many like science fiction stories just in general. Like off the top of my head, Children of Blood and Bone, Red Queen, Ember in the Ashes. Any fantasy book. I bet Sarah J. Maas's Throne of Glass is, I think, because Celine is a slave at first. They all relate. But of course, I'm going to pick Red Queen, because you have to fight for what you believe in. You have to. And when people tell you no, you can't just sit there and be like, okay, I'm gonna wait till they say yes. They're not going to. You have to stand up and get that yes. You feel me? Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. If it was informative, hopefully it's not too weird and I'm not like, just yeah, I'm hoping for the best. And I think I'm gonna continue making like a recommendation books and or videos and stuff like that too. So give me a thumbs up if you like this, if you thought this was cool and nifty. Thank you for that. Thumbs up if you did it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.